Okay, I seem to be up and running correctly here. Alright, welcome back to Randomized Deathmatch Doom 2 mapping, where I essentially take a custom texture pack that I select randomly from a randomizer wheel, and then I jump into making a map from beginning to end. This typically takes me about 3.5 to 4 hours, but depending on how things go, I may even go longer than that. So, I guess we should just jump right in and get this this wheel going here. Now I'm hoping for something fairly easy, but we will see. Oh, well that's about as easy as you get. Perfect. Okay, yeah, we will go with Vanilla Doom 2. I've done a few of these pretty recently actually, so should be a good time. Alright, that makes things really easy. I don't even have to worry about setting up my texture pack or anything. So we can just jump right into it without having to mess around in Slade for a minute or so. So that's perfect. Alright, let's get it started here. Now, between last stream and this stream, I got a much larger MIDI playlist going. My previous one came in at 85 hours total, but this current MIDI playlist comes in at 220 hours total. So I think that's about 9 days straight of Doomer made MIDIs. So that should get us pretty far, I imagine. I of course intend updating it further as more stuff gets released in the future by more people. So yeah, we're going to be having some music going for quite some while here, thankfully. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get Doom 2 loaded as a resource real quick here. And I'm using Xandronum UDMF. Now, part of that is because if I was to get stuck with a different texture pack, like let's say something that has very, very limited selection, at least with UDMF, I can throw flats on walls and textures on floors and ceilings, you know, make things a little bit easier for me at least. Okay, so I've got Doom 2 loaded up here. Now at some point later on in this stream, I am likely going to have to pop out and drop my resource wad into this, just so I can access stuff like my railgun and you know, whatever sky I wish to use, that kind of thing. But that's real simple. I already have Slade up and running without loaded, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's just a matter of dropping this map's resources straight into that resource wad, essentially. It seems we're only loading Doom 2 and not worrying about a texture pack this time in addition to that. So, one other small thing, you'll hear a lot of click-clackety nonsense on my keyboard right now, and that's because I'm using my old Razer Huntsman. Now, what's going to happen is I actually have a new keyboard coming in like an hour, half an hour from now, according to Amazon. So I may switch that out on the fly here as we're going along. Hopefully make that a slightly better listening experience and not so obnoxious with the clicky-clackies, because I do tend to beat my keyboard up a little bit as I go along here. So anyway, let's jump into this here. Now, obviously, we all know the different themes that Doom 2 can accommodate. Nukage bases, you can make a water refinery, or a water purification center, or a hell level, or any location that's in the standard Doom games you can extrapolate from, essentially, of course. So that's what I'll be doing here. I'm not entirely sure what I want theme-wise right now, which is kind of the case of whenever I start going ahead and making a map. I don't typically know what I'm doing until I am doing it. That's just how I go. I throw down lines until I see something that makes sense, and once something starts to make sense, then I go on from that. So, I'm kind of feeling a tech base but we will see if that's indeed what happens here or not. So yeah, I'm just going to start throwing down lines. And we will see what we get. So this is the 6th stream of this. The first 4 were on YouTube. This is the second one I'm doing on Twitch. I'm still all, very new to this, of course. But as I go along here, I hope to iron out some of the slight issues I've been having and make things a little bit more listenable. But so far I've been able to sit down for the allotted time and rattle off a map in that allotted time, no problem. So that's a good benefit, at least. That's something I can be positive about right now as I go along and learn this. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is just throw it in my first room here. Kind of a peculiar shape, but we'll see if we can work with this. Kind of like that. Now if I go ahead and curve this inwards, we might have an interesting looking corner there. First I'm just going to set my placeholders, which I always use seal5_1 for both ceiling and roof, because I find it lets every other texture, every other thing I do contrast more easily. Because I go ahead and I use crate textures that are gray for the wall placeholders. And I see some people that not get confused necessarily, but wonder why I choose this particular texture as a placeholder. The reason I do is because essentially each of these blocks is a perfect 64 by 64 square, of course, right? So when you go ahead and you make a crate, that's a perfect 64 by 64 square also, and I use that to kind of gauge and measure my 128 height textures and everything else. So if I have 2 of these crates going up, well, that's a 128 texture perfectly, or if I have 4 going up, that's the same texture repeated twice, or if I have 1 notch of 8 below the 64 texture, that's Doom2's maximum head height. So I can kind of more quickly gauge and create map geometry that way, without worrying about, oh, is this going to fit, is this going to work? I kind of just know by looking at those few dimensions. Okay, so looking at the overview of this map here, it's kind of elongated, kind of too long rectangularly, or what do you call it? Horizontally for my liking right now. So I'm going to shrink this a little bit. And I'm going to probably curve these outwards instead of inwards like that other corner there. And I'm going to do the inverse here. I think a nice curve will look good there. And I'm going to curve this in also, so that we have a little bit of a choke going on here. See? Now what that will serve to do is I'm going to make it into a sort of covered doorway here. Because I kind of envision this room here, this larger area, as a bit of an outdoors region. Now, that could change, of course. I could go ahead and add something else and then realize, oh, maybe it doesn't work, or it doesn't work the way I want to. I'm not seeing what I need to see, that kind of thing. I might change that. But for right now, that's going to be my outdoors area. And these are going to be covered doorways. So, of course, this is a different angle than this. So what I might do here is cut into it at this height. And we'll leave ourselves 3 64 high blocks here. And the same on this side. Add a little lip. Now, we'll probably end up flaring this. I'm not sure if I even like this large... I did it first. It's like a large outdoor wall or something, but now that I'm adding this doorway here, it might serve better for me to shrink the whole area. And perhaps get rid of some of these vertices. Like I said, I'm flying by the seat of my pants. That's kind of the whole point of this stream. I just rattle off a deathmatch map as quickly as I can, based solely on, well, not solely on intuition. Obviously, there's little rules I follow, of course, like of anything, right? But mostly this is all about feeling something out as opposed to going into something with any kind of strict setup, if that makes sense. That's kind of how I do things, at least. Now, I kind of might want to just duplicate this whole area here because I'm not really digging that. Let's see. So I'm going to need to come out 3, center here, come out 3 here, and then curve these inwards, curve this outwards at the same angle. Okay, so now we should have something going here. Okay. Yeah, those are equal height. Very good. Now, I don't like it, this orientation here. I'm going to switch this around. Now, what could be nice here is some kind of central obstruction, like not a hedgerow, but like a hedgerow object, like a partial wall. Not something that goes straight to the roof, of course. I may also want to not necessarily make this an entirely outdoor area, but add a skylight. Yeah, that'll be nice. And as with our previous corners, we're going to flare these also. Okay, give ourselves a little pit to work with here. And bring this up too, so that a full 128 texture can be displayed without any issue. Now that kind of looks nice. It doesn't look bad. What I'll do now is I'm going to draw a central beam down the middle so that we can develop a little further contrast here. Nice thing about this texture pack is that I'm familiar enough with Doom2 vanilla, of course, that I don't need to necessarily plan for what textures I'm using, in a sense, because I know what geometry is going to roughly work for it already. It's not something completely new to me, you know. I don't typically do much vanilla Doom stuff, but I know enough about what's in the texture pack, of course, having played Doom my whole life, to know what roughly can be done, you know. So it'll be both easy and difficult in some regards here. So it should make for an interesting session compared to some of the other ones I've done where I've already worked with Fox text before. I've already worked with O-Tex. I was actually making a level with the 5th episode texture, which I did for my 3rd stream on YouTube. But this, I haven't done for a while, so it should be... should at least be fun, is what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to add some lights here. Because I think a couple of lights will look nice. That's too big. I'm going to go down to 16. And I'm going to duplicate that. And we're going to make a little scattered array of some type here. So that should go there, and that there, and this here. And then in the center, we're going to have a larger light. Now, of course, that looks a little bit boring, just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to curve everything into a circle at 88 degrees. Maybe 80. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with 80 today. Okay, so here is our beam we're working with. Okay. Oh, I didn't curve these lights yet. No biggie. Now I was kind of feeling like maybe I'll bring down to a full 64 just to show off kind of a cylinder design, which would probably contrast nicely with the more straight beam at the top. But now, looking at it, I'm kind of feeling more of just a lip. Just a lip to differentiate the light from the beam. And maybe we'll lower that central one a bit. There we go. That'll look good. Okay. Now, I've got to make the choice if I want to split this pool at the bottom here. I think I'm going to. So give me an excuse for a nice item platform there. And you know what? I don't even know if I like this large ass light here as a light. I might just turn it into a pillar. See? I've already got something coming along here, which is nice. Now, of course, I'm using UDMF, so I can start dropping 3D floors, whatever else I need to, which is also going to make this a little bit easier. Okay. So I might as well make the sky already, just so I keep it in my head a little easier. There we go. Now I'm going to be changing the sky at the end. We're not going to be using vanilla Doom skies, just because I think adding a custom sky will add a little bit more flair. And besides, if I end up going like a heck-based direction, or if I end up going with some kind of acid base or nukage based thing, something like that, then I'm probably going to want to go with some kind of green sky. Or if this ends up being a more cheerful, natural location, I might end up going with my you know, light blue sky that you see every single day when you walk outside, you know, so something like that. So it all depends on what I end up getting into theme-wise here. Right now, we've got a lot of symmetry going on, so I'm going to be breaking that up right now. Start by doing that by adding 2 separate doorways on this side. Now, yeah, I know. There's not much curves in Vanilla Doom, but remember, this is just a texture pack. I'm not looking to replicate Vanilla Doom sensibilities necessarily. I'm kind of more or less doing my own thing, but using those textures as my you know, for my texture, of course, or for my flats and my wall textures. This is gonna let me do a whole lot of stuff. It's gonna let me more easily texture, like in Vanilla Doom, I don't think there's a fire blue floor texture. I believe it's only a wall texture. So now if I wanted to make a little lip in the ground and make that fire blue and make the top surface fire blue as well, I can. That's what's nice about using UDMF for this, for example. Or if I wanted to put lava flowing through a little slit in the wall or something, I could do that. I wouldn't be able to do that previously, is what I'm saying. So I'm going to try to connect this to this. I know it looks like a huge hallway, but we're going to have this going on at some point, connecting into this also. So I'm not too worried right now. Probably go with a 5 wide hallway. It just seems right to me right now. Okay, make sector there, and then join these. There we go. So yeah, very long, very awkward hallway at the moment, but that will be changed here. Now, I want some elevation, because who wants a boring-ass, flat deathmatch map? Certainly not me. Of course, some maps are going to have, you know, better elevation than others. That goes without saying. But I like some verticality in my maps. adds a whole extra element to the gameplay. But with verticality, of course, you have to plan ahead. You can't just, you know, construct something and then try to drop verticality in after, I find, as easily. So what I'm doing here is just trying to rough out roughly where I want things to go up and things to go down. These corners here I'll flare inwards. This I'll flare outwards. Drag that and drag that. Do I like that? Let me see. Bit awkward. Okay. It might be better to flare the reverse, possibly. Like maybe if I have that top section curved also, it will look a little less awkward. Now obviously that's far too close, but perhaps if I lower this one, there we go. The lip on the bottom here is fixed now, or at least fixed enough so that I can hit it here, I can hit it here. I don't have to worry about getting caught on anything, which is one of the main things in Deathmatch. Like, who the hell wants to be getting caught on stuff every 2 seconds, right? So that's something I try to focus on, is making my geometry the least obnoxious possible, especially for people that are trying to retreat or backpedal. Getting caught on something while backpedaling in Deathmatch is a pain, let me tell you. I know it kind of goes without saying, because the same thing can occur in single player. You know, you get ambushed, you run back, you get caught on a torch or something, that's going to drive you nuts. But in Deathmatch, for some reason, it feels even more offensive. I'm not sure why. So I try to avoid that whenever possible. Now here, I might dip down again, because, you know, why shouldn't I? And here, I know this looks a little awkward with this vertice here. If I get rid of that, and then slope to that, here, and then slope this, pardon me, not slope it, curve it. Okay, making sense, looking good. And I still got this here, of course, which we're gonna branch off eventually. I think I'm going to raise everything by 1, just so I can maintain that lip that's over here. There we go. For a lip here. Putting a lip on your slope always makes sense to me, because then you can go ahead and curve said lip, and you're left with kind of a neat sci-fi looking effect here. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do in this corner here. I could come out from here, somewhere to here, with some type of hallway, and maybe a room in between. That's doable, but then I don't want 3 lateral hallways, right? Because we do intend to bring this out, which I guess we should do right now, because why not? Maybe we'll mix it up a bit here. Maybe we will go with something like this. Go with a nice T-shaped hallway. I was going to go with an L shape, but I think that will limit movement to one side a little too partially. Now, of course, there's a slope here, right? And a slope here. I'm not worried about that, because what I'll do is I'll move this up to here. And like that, and like that. Drop this. Okay, so from here to here, I'm going to slope this, bring up a lip so it's not too steep. So now we have an excuse to rise and fall from both heights here, on both sides. Now what that could serve to do is I could place a power up or something here, or something here. Because from here to here you can get up easily, right? From here to here not so much. So maybe on this side I will go ahead and place a power up of some kind. Because I want to drive movement through this area, of course. I don't want it to just be superfluous. Okay. Now I'm trying to decide if I should bring down a lip for the roof. I think I will. Yeah. Of course that misaligns here, but we're going to have a border texture there anyway, so I'm not too concerned. Which means we've got to flare this side. Oops. There we go. Now I could theoretically on this side carve out a rough looking staircase that's in the slope. I don't think I'm going to, because I want this somewhat hard to access, if that makes sense. I want people driving from here to get to it, right? But I don't want it to be a cakewalk, necessarily. Raise this texture a bit. There we go. I'm kind of feeling that upper large room like I was talking about earlier. I think that'll do nicely, actually. Probably going to want to go with a 4-wide hallway. And we might want to... Ooh! Oh, I've got an idea. Oh, that's not even a bad idea. Okay. Let's try that. Now, just looking at what I'm doing here, you probably have an idea of what I'm excited about here. But if I now make this accessible from this same height, like so, well, if you're flying down this hallway, you're going to connect right here, because you're going to jump, of course, UDMF. I have jump on. So, jump. Zoom down this hallway, out into the open again. And there's enough room here that when you come out of the entrance, you can deviate however you want from this pillar. It's not in your face, like, right away too much, at least. So, because I flared all these other entrances, I'm going to do the same here. Because really, why shouldn't I? I'm trying to remain thematically consistent to a certain point here. Curve these at 88. Curve these the other way. There we go. And this. Okay. We've got our little lip here. We should probably duplicate on this side. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. So I kind of want to mess around with the elevation again. So I'm going to drop this, cordon this, and then likely raise this here. This one. So, and I'll get that autosave thing fixed in just a second here. It's starting to drive me a little nuts. So let's see, what was I saying again? Right. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Now what I'm going to do here, because I obviously want a slope going up to this, is I'm going to raise this to here, which will act as our slope to wall. There we go. And there, we get to keep our lip, we get to keep our slope, and we have some elevation change in here. Very good. Okay, we are actually on our way already here. How long has this been? Just half an hour, and I've already got most of the layout done. So I'm flying along pretty good here already. Okay. So oops. How big is this roughly? Okay, about 4,000 by 4,000, okay. Reasonable size. Now we've got this bit of nonsense going on here. Now I could do a couple things with that. Actually, I got a really good idea. I think what I will do is perhaps make some kind of doorway here. But there's going to be a nub on the end of the hallway that I connect from here to here, and there's going to be a teleporter here. What's going to happen is you're going to hit that teleporter, you're going to pop out here. You need to jump for that power up. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3 ways coming to that power up consistently. Not to mention that the teleport side is going to be the most trafficked, right? So that is going to make for a lot of intense interactions, a lot of tough combat, a lot of unexpected situations as well. So yeah, this is what I mean by finding stuff as I'm going along, because obviously I didn't have that plan going into this, so it's all very free form, which I know a lot of people sit down and they map their maps out on paper, or what have you. I think I've done that twice, and the 2 times I've done it, I've ended up with a very constrained, very restricted map, I believe. And I've said it before in my other streams, that's mainly because I'm sitting there going, okay, well, I've made this plan. Have I adhered to this plan? What was the point of me making this plan if I'm not going to follow it? So forth and so forth. So from here, I'm probably... This area is pretty wide open, so I might have to figure something out for that still. I'm not worried about that yet. But this area here, I don't want to be too thick, So here... Now I'm trying to decide if I want that corner flared in like this. Actually, that might be nice. Yeah, we'll go with that. Bring this up. Bring this down. Now, 2 looks pretty narrow here. Obviously, Doom Guy's still going to fit through. You can fit under 164 block if he needs to. So, he's got enough headroom to even jump. But... oh no, these borders are pretty nice. Yeah, I can put something nice there. Okay. I was worrying for nothing. Now here is where that teleporter is going to be, a no-stop teleporter. So we'll go just a little ways. We don't want to make a rocket cubby where someone can just drop a rocket down here and get a guaranteed kill. So we're probably going to use this as an exit teleporter as well. And we got to travel back and forth between, both of them. It's not just going to be, oh, I dropped off in front of the power-up location. That's it. I want people flying out of here also because it'll make this more interesting. And this probably would be like where I place my secondary power-up, or the power-up I intend to use to counter this one's position. Okay, let me just get this saved real quick before that keeps beeping at me. Taking just one moment. I know you can't see this screen. That's because I have it set up so that my file system doesn't show up on stream. Okay, there we go. Should say it correctly. Yep. Nice. Okay. So this teleporter is pointy AF. We do not want that. That will look gross. So let's get this curved out. Ooh, that looks sci-fi. There we go. Very good, very good. Okay. That looks like a nice little teleporter entrance despite being so low down. So now, I'm going to go all the way over here. And I might try to mess around this corner a little bit, like that. That. No, that looks terrible. Let me just think. Well, I don't even know why I'm doing this angle necessarily, because if you're going to come out of the teleporter, I guess it gives you two options, right? But why would you want this option to go back to the main realm when there's a nice, beautiful power-up right there? So I'm probably just going to find a way to place the teleporter in the corner here, most likely here. That looks a little tight, but we'll have to figure it out as we go when I jump into my little test here in a little bit, just to get the flow down. So that's good because it still leaves you vulnerable, which you should be vulnerable if you're trying to snag a power-up, right? Okay, this is actually a good little setup. I'm not, you know, trying to brag too much here, but I think this is actually not going to be a bad setup at all. Because the people flying overhead, you're going to have conflict of people traveling below, because the people below can't jump up here, no matter how hard they try. But you're also going to have people coming through here, grabbing the power up, and through here, grabbing the power up. Or, you know, there's all kinds of possibilities there, which I kind of like. Now, I know this is UDMF, and I know I haven't thrown down any 3D floors of any kind. Last two maps I haven't used any 3D floors at all, actually. But maybe if I put one between here, but then I have to accommodate a teleporter into one of these pillars, because how the hell else are you going to get up there, right? Trying to decide if there's a decoration I can make with 3D floors that would look decent. You see, we've got this big bare wall here and here, so I'm obviously going to figure something out for that. We can't just have that nonsense going on, big bunch of nothing happening. So I'm going to curve these slightly because it'll put any. The only reason someone will be here is to travel towards that power up. So to restrict movement a tiny pinch makes sense to me. But on this wall here, I need something going on. I'm just gonna switch this MIDI. It's driving me a little crazy. That sounds better. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flare this out at 88. The other way. There we go. Gives me a bunch more room here. And I'm going to take this and flare this the inverse, which you might think will look a little sharp, but it shouldn't look too bad when I go ahead and connect these. Like from here, if I do this, and from here, if I do that, and curve these, oops, wrong way for the one of them here. There we go, curve these. I bring these little notches down. Kind of gets rid of our problem. Kind of makes things look a little less sharp. which who doesn't want that, right? Okay, so here would be a good spot for an item or a light or some kind of something. Some kind of something. I know it's not very specific, but something here, something here. And if I go ahead and curve these, they'll make some nice little platforms. Now I could twin a backpack pair here, or I could twin a stim pack and a stim pack. Remains to be seen. I could also do this, and I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work or not. But I might try to wall this here and put a weapon here. Maybe if I don't go flush to the walls, maybe if I do this. Now I'm gonna maybe put a window in here. So that obviously looks pretty stupid, right? But if I do this, that might work. Drop this like that. Now a nice mid texture would go well there. Of course I'm dealing with Doom 2 only today, which limits me severely on my mid texture use. I'm actually going to see what we're dealing with here. I can't remember entirely what we have. I know we have those gray bars, and then those, not quite square, but the square bronze things with the windows cut out. I might go with those, because I do have a perfect 4x64 here space, so. Normally I don't rough my textures in right now, but I feel I might forget to do that here. I still want it to be shoot-throughable, but not for projectiles, but you know, if you have a hit-scan gun, be able to hit somebody on the other side of that. The whole point is to be able to look through and see, oh, Bob's on the other side of that wall. I'm going to shoot Bob, you know? Simple as that. So, what do we have here? Okay, we have exactly what I expected we have. Let's try... Well, is there any other... Oh, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Brown small C. Although I might go with brown small 1. And reverse the other side for 2. Yeah, that'll work. So take this. Go to the back. Put this. Make the entire line impassable. Block projectiles. There ain't no plasma bullet getting through here, you know what I mean? About splitting at least. Okay, so it's telling me that we are a bit too tall. There we go. So you come, okay, that's diagonal like that. On this side. Yeah, that makes sense. Good. Good, good, good. Shrink this down, but curve it slightly. That looks nice. Or, no, perhaps not. Maybe I should split this down the middle and then inverse these. So let's see. This one will stay as brown small 1. But this will be brown small 2. And then the back of this will be 1. And the back of this, I guess it's already 2. Okay. So now we've got these contrasting angles that feed in, which looks nicer, I think. And then if I view it from the back, it's the same. Very good. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just move this forward a little bit. One more. Give it a little more 3D going on. Okay. And I'm going to curve these into a semi-circular pillar. Okay, now we're cooking. That's looking good. That is looking nice. Okay. Very good. Okay. So, I'm 45 minutes in here so far. And I am doing well. Things are going decent. I still don't know my theme. Because obviously you can pair this texture with anything, right? Like you can even drop that into Hell if you wanted to. Because Hell's got a lot of raw iron type stuff going on, you know? Suppose this could be a lava pit. What do I want? What do I want? I guess I'll drop these. They'll look good as an inverse light here. There we go. Fix the fake contrast here. Okay, now, at least with Doom 2, we've got ourselves some dedicated teleport textures. A lot of these packs don't seem to have dedicated teleport textures. I know that sounds silly to say, it's just true. Okay, so I'm gonna raise this a little bit. Raise this in the back. Bring down that. Make this our destination pad. You know what? Let's go with Hell. Let's go with something hellish. You know, some kind of hell thing. This could work out. Okay, that makes sense. Now I'm gonna go here like this. That's why I brought that down to where I did. And put a mid texture here. Now we know we're going hellish. We might as well go with some kind of cage, you know, some kind of bars, something like that. We don't have to worry about mid texture bleed in this format, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go with that because that looks cool. I have no idea what that MIDI is doing. That is a horrible sound. There we go. Okay, so just trying to think of what I want to do here. I don't need to put this on the back, but I might as well for completion's sake, right? Just for why not? We're already set to impasse, we're already set to block projectiles, which why we need the block projectiles is not really, there's not really a point to that, but whatever. Okay. Looking pretty cool. Now we've got the whole circular thing going on over here. Yeah, so see we got a little bit of an issue. Not too much of an issue though. So what I'm going to do is going to cut this out like this and drop this. There we go. Do the same for the roof. Okay, that works for me. Bring the brightness up. So when I test this in a moment here, I'll know what I'm doing. Oh, I know a good place for a little bit of detail here. Whatever that little flaming head thing is. Yeah, this guy. That is gonna look cool. Well, it would look cool if I actually had it at the right height here. Perhaps I need to cut some holes into the ground for this. Which, whatever, that'll work. Kind of cool. Yeah, it looks nice. Crank that up, crank that up. Whoops. Okay. Where is the top of the thing? Oh, it's at the bottom on this. Okay, I was like, why is there no, you know, top frame for the frame here? But that was my own mistake. Okay. All right, so if we're doing something hellish, I know I kind of decided that half the way in here, and I typically don't do too many curved lines for hell. I find curved lines, like, you know, perfectly curved lines like they are kind of a little too human-made for something hellish. But we're going to roll with it. We're going to see what happens here. Because we could always end up with something like heck, then hell. That's always a possibility here. This little choke will help. And I'll flex this. Raise that lip. There we go. Let's drop some lava here, just so I can, you know, be reminded of the actual theme. Okay. Now you see, normally I would use like D-Brain as some kind of like scrolling lava texture here, but that has a seam in it, a really nasty seam in it. This texture does not. And because I'm playing UDMF, I can just throw it on a wall if I wanted to. Or throw it into the wall, pardon me. That's probably what I'll do. Okay. Gotta find any other place to put this lava texture here. See, everything feeds down to here, and that's a perfect place for a lava pool. Everything also kind of feeds here. Let me see. Perhaps. I think that'll work if I raise some lips. Without the lip, it doesn't really give much logical explanation to have a pool there. There, that looks better. And you're like, okay, of course there's a pool there. You know, it makes sense because we got this lip here on each side. Before, when we were like this, I don't know, like, just looking at it logically, it doesn't make nearly as much sense in a visual way. So that should resolve that at least. Now here is a good place for a weapon platform or a spawn point, perhaps. Maybe not a spawn point; it might be too vulnerable in relation to that power-up contention point. But we will see. It might work out. Depends on what I place here in terms of the weapon, right? Okay. Do this. Now, there's going to be a light here, but is there really... Because of the light of a lava at 256, there's not really much point to have a light at 256 above this, but... whatever, we'll roll with it for now. We'll see what happens. So what this is all about is just rolling with things. This whole stream. Just how I do my mapping, essentially. Okay. Bring that down here. Oh, now this would be a good place for some scrolling lava. Indeed. Definitely. Okay. Take this and this. It's already at where it needs to be. Okay. Now, this might seem silly at first, but it won't be in a second. So I'm going to have this scroll left and this scroll right, inwards towards this section here. Now when I go ahead and frame that with whatever I decide to put in the middle here, it's going to look quite nice. Because your eyes are going to be drawn here by force, essentially, because that's going to be going this way, and that's going to be going this way, right? So whatever's here or here, you can't help but look at. So it could be a good place for an important item of some kind, or a popularly used weapon, or a desired weapon, something like a railgun or a plasma, or perhaps even some other kind of item to counter this item, but we'll have to see on that. Yeah, it's tricky to, you know, figure out at first what I want to do for decoration wise. It could even be prudent to try to make this a skylight. I would say we're about 3 times 64 lower than this sky here. So, I raise it a little bit, like this. Even if I'm 64 below the sky over there, which actually I will be, right here. Nobody's going to notice that, of course. See? This sky height here, to this sky height here. Nobody's going to tell. Of course, if I went lower than that, people are going to be like, oh, why is the sky right here? That's a bit awkward, you know? Because it won't compute in your head, like, oh, the sky's here and the sky's way up there, you know? But just being 64 lower, nobody's going to notice that. I really don't think anybody's going to notice that. If it is indeed 64 lower, not 128. Yeah, that's fine. Because we're at a risk here, because if we raise this too high, well, nobody's going to see the sky, and it defeats the purpose of me even dropping it in to begin with, right? So I'm going to scroll this right. Okay. Oops. Kind of wanted to adjust the speed there. We'll go fast. And I'm going to scroll this left. Go fast. Okay. So we should actually have something interesting going on here now. I might need to extend this just a little bit. Well, actually, let's go ahead and shrink this by half of a square. And then, so there's 4 squares here at 16, 4 squares here at 16. See, I know because this wall is uneven with this wall, I'm trying to find a way to accommodate both without it looking incredibly stupid. Perhaps if I did this instead. There we go. And then do this. And take this up to here. Okay, so now I can put that here, put that here. Now it could be cool to have the lava actually flow to a point. Like this flow left, this flow right, and disappear down the middle of that point. Or I could draw a little tiny pillar here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Makes more sense. Probably in the middle as well. Oops. Okay. There we go. Now, even though this side is still shorter than this side, you still have that 64 border, that 64 border, and it kind of makes a little bit more sense visually. It's not so goofy looking, you know? So, let's just make sure that those properties will carry over here. We want 100 at 96 speed. Actually, 100. 96 speed. Oops. 96 speed. There we go. Oh, do you want to do it here? Okay. And this is action 101. At 96 speed also. Good. So that should be flowing fast here, and that should be flowing fast here, but disappearing at this point. Could give us something cool. You never know. You never know. I'm going to link these all up here. For the sole purpose that I want to add a glow effect. And adding a glow effect with all those different sectors might cause me a little bit of annoyance. So this still says left, left. That says nothing. Okay. Right and right. Okay. So let's drop a glow on this sector. Is this Christmas music? Are you for real? Christmas Doom music? I'm no Scrooge. I just, I ain't listening to Christmas music right now. I'll tell you that much. Okay. Still need to do something here. Now that could be as simple as dropping a couple lights and pairing a set. Oh, that's what I'll do actually. That always works out, so that's what I'll do. Drop a pair of lights. Drop a central light. Curve them all. Drop this and this and this and this and this. I want them to contrast with these lights. So full cylinder probably will work. Full 64 unit cylinder here. And then this central one, I want to put a little platform beneath. So I'm going to exaggerate that one a little bit more. And we won't put receptacles or little bumps here because I don't want to draw attention away from these. If that makes sense. I think it does. Yeah, should make sense. Okay. So we'll raise these up a little bit by 4 just because they look a little gross right now. Oops, that was ceiling height. Don't want that. -4. Oh, no, we want 4. There we go. Jeez. Perfect. A light will look nice here, although it might truncate this slope. Yes, it does. Is it worth putting something here? Probably not. Okay. But a light would look nice here. That is if I can turn these without influencing anything. There we go. That's kind of giving me some issues. There we go, that looks better. Take this and raise this up. Okay. Now we still got this big old ugly wall on this other side here. This hideous wall with nothing going on. Right here. I could connect that teleporter room to there, which would perhaps place more pressure on this location, because there's going to be something here. You know what? That's just what I'll do. That'll work out. Although I have to fix this corner because I don't know what the hell is going on here. Why do we have a 128 wide curving, but the other one is a 90, or pardon me, a 64. No harm, no foul. I'll come out here. See, I'm still trying to... What is going on here? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that'll perhaps work. Okay, so now that should be curved the same as that. Yeah, okay. And now I can do whatever the hell I want with this. Good. Okay, so who wants a 90-degree gross-ass corner right there? So I'm going to go ahead and get that fixed. And then from here, I'm probably just going to go flush with the wall and not make another indent. Because I feel another indent is going to make that hallway too narrow at 3 by 64. Whereas I should probably try to go wider for connecting to a room that's as wide as this room is. That'll just work better flow-wise. There's no question about it, definitely. Cross at 3 here. Come here. Perhaps I'll go at 2. Centralize that. And then there we go. That's gonna work. I'm optimistic at least. Fix that curve. I'm gonna drop a spawn here because that's not a bad place to respawn, really. How am I gonna do this? It's probably good enough. And then I'm going to put a roof light in, which I know there's not any single tone, single texture roof lights in Doom 2 vanilla. So what I might try to get away with here, let's see what we have actually. Something like this. Floor 1_6 could potentially work if I nail it with enough brightness, right? Because like dropping flat 22 in, you're gonna have this design truncated and cut into all over the place, right? So, ooh, I could also go a little crazy. Let's see. But you see, then I'm combining man-made or human-made angles for something extremely natural looking. Could work. Could actually work. Let's see. This, and this need to be lowered. Does it make sense to separate this from the other room? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Maybe just best to keep it flush, perhaps. And then give a little staircase here. From the other, okay, I guess it'll work. Not a staircase, like a little walkway. And then I'm going to cut this down the middle, flare that, come out right about there. Yep. Okay. Come through here. It's a little visually different at least. You know what, I might even go even crazier and just go make a little lip here to further differentiate that region. Which misaligns these, but I'll just bring those up, it's not a big issue. Maybe I'll do this. And we can just keep this little strip of light or whatever it's going to be. Actually doesn't look bad. This here. Raise this to there. Okay, what else do I need to do? In terms of geo. So that works here because it visually differentiates this room from this room at least now. Could drop this just for shits and giggles, really. Compare that, like that. Kind of looks good. And then perhaps if I was to curve the end a little bit. Yep. Curve this out. Curve that out. Or no, this way. There we go. There, it looks a little less terrible now. Perfect. Which is what I'm all about. A little less terrible each time. In terms of, you know, what we're looking at visually here. So that should work. That should work. Okay. These might be a little too low. They're kind of drawing attention away from this one, which I want a little more focus on. That looks good. Okay, and back here we're going to have that aforementioned weapon platform. Put that out. There we go. And I probably need to drop a roof there. Okay. Okay. Now, what am I looking at here? Got enough room on either side of these for perhaps another one of those lava flowing things I was working out over here earlier. So I might try that just for a little extra detail. Yeah, 16 will work. So that's 3 by 64 again, or 16 by 3 times 64. Right here. A little bit of curve will help those. Draw your attention to it. Oh, you know, it's inset into the wall, you know. Instead of just being flush. Because if you're just putting everything flush all the time, like, how are you going to draw attention to it as easily? You know, you'll be able to draw attention to something way easier if you add a little bit of a curve, because it adds just a little bit of a pop, you know. Now for these ones, that's going to look a bit gross, just being like this to this. So I'm going to put a mid-texture grate in front of this. Which, because of that curve, I have the perfect opportunity to do so. Okay. Impasse, block projectiles. Is that visible right now? If you haven't, yeah, I've been having trouble with that screen. It's not showing right now, but I'll be just a quick second, of course, so don't worry about it. Put those bars I used earlier. There we go. Oh, look at that. That looks great. Wonderful. I might not even make those move. Might be too much. Something here would be nice, though. I don't know what, though. Maybe something goofy like SP face or something. Could work. I'm just about to jump into my lighting, where I just throw all my lighting down at once, essentially. So let's see what we have for hell. What do we have for hell? I could make... What about just this? Just have a little cubby of this. That'll be good. Does it have a vertical seam? It does not. Or not, at least a visible one, at least. Yeah, we'll stick with that. And I suppose we will draw another mid-texture area here. Because why wouldn't we, right? We did so on the other side, it makes sense to do so here. Okay, that looks good actually. We've got a bit of a theme going here. Oh, I know what to do here. This will be cool. I'm going to put that that beige face texture that everybody likes, or likes to make fun of, whatever it is. I like it, so I'm going to use it. Okay. So that should give us a little lip here. Drop this, take this, raise it to here. There we go. Raise the brightness. Okay, so now I should be able to drop that face texture in here. Where was it? Oh, you know what might work even better? This spine texture. There we go. Raise it a little bit so it's even. And now, if I was to put a scroll on that, that would look really cool. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay. Now I think because there's so much nonsense going on over here, I might just scroll to the right. Which I think was 101? Yes, it was. Great. And we'll go with slow. The creepy, slow scroll of, you know, some kind of spinal thing, whatever that ends up being. Whatever that is, pardon me. And here we'll drop another potential spawn point. There we go. Which it looks cramped, right? But it's not. Doom Guy has more than enough room to run plus jump in this whole area, so. Okay, we need something going on in these walls here. Nothing serious, just maybe a little dent or two. It looks like my keyboard has arrived. I'm just going to leave you on this screen right here. I'll be back in about 15-20 seconds. Okay, I am back. So yeah, I had picked up a silent wireless Logitech keyboard, and I'm just going to open that up right now and use it. Take me about a minute here, but it will end up being a much more palatable experience, I think, for everybody involved. Just bear with me while I get this out here. I got a white colored one because when I grew up I had a old Dell white keyboard, and I know a lot of it was yellow, but for whatever reason that one didn't. So I kind of like that look, the crisp white. That's what I went with. Okay, it looks like it wants me to throw a battery in here. I don't know if I have any right this second, so we might just put that aside and table that for a moment here and just keep using this clickety-clackety one for now. Unless they included the battery, somehow I doubt it. Oh wow, it actually looks like they included the battery. That's ridiculous. Oh no, there's a battery in there. Okay. Trying to see where they included the receiver. But yeah, it'll be nice to have a much better, much quieter keyboard. Be a little less obnoxious, because I tend to beat the hell out of my keyboards, and they don't last me very long at all. And the ones that do last long are usually pretty damn loud. You're not sure where this receiver is supposed to be. Wow, okay, whatever. I guess I'll figure it out later. Okay, well I guess I'll just stick with my my old one here for right now until I get that figured out. I usually prefer the wired keyboards than having to deal with the little wireless receivers, you know. But it is what it is. I'll figure it out. So, as we can see here, this is lacking, and this corner is still lacking here. So, probably going to put some kind of a series of little windows here. Okay. Trying to keep this even. It's a little tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Maybe that works? Yes, it does. Okay. Oh, there's the receiver. Jesus, I was looking around like a complete fool. I found it. They didn't make it very obvious, let me tell you that much. Usually you'll see it, you know, taped to something. Not today. Okay, it appears to be working. Good. I'm just going to unplug my old loud as hell one here. And of course, I just dropped my mic slightly. Like I said, today is going to be a bit of an issue until I get everything sorted out. But after today, we're not going to be having any more loud, annoying BS keyboard stuff going on. Just bear with me while I get this plugged in here. Okay, I think that should be swappable now. Like I said, this stream was going to be a little disorganized just because of that keyboard delivery. But I just tested this Logitech one and it is quiet. Okay, so the mic should still be working. Yep. Good stuff, good stuff. Yep. Alright. So new mouse is working, new mic is working. Now it's just time for me to get working. Which I am making a reasonably good time today. It's just, like I said, that slight organizational hiccup there. We're good. We should be good here. Yeah, this new keyboard, I'm like smashing the space key here. It is so quiet, it's unbelievable. Okay. Should take you a little bit to get used to, actually, probably. Alright. So this corner and this corner here, I could probably curve them, but it wouldn't be really for a gameplay benefit. It would probably just be for an aesthetic benefit. But it might be nice. Let's take a look here. How's that look? Okay, that's reasonable. Yeah, because if you wanted to, you could hug this wall, and there's half of your entire player figure obscured. So finish up here. Yeah, this keyboard is ridiculous. I'm not trying to sound too excited over a Logitech Silent Touch, but it really is baffling how quiet it is in comparison to what I was using. Okay, so these should be framed correctly now. And I'm going to bring them down flush with the floor. Okay, that's looking nice. And we're going to go over here and copy this. We're going to curve these slightly, like the other windows. You know, thematic consistency, you know, not because I'm necessarily too obsessed with curves. Well, I am. I do like curves in Doom. You don't see enough of them. That's the thing. You do not see enough of them in Doom. That's my opinion. So it's always worth throwing them in when you can. At least for environments like this, it kind of makes sense. Like, things are looking pretty good here so far, I think. And now I'm going to draw a line from here to here on each of these protrusions. There we go. Select those lines. And I don't usually go, you know, too mid-texture crazy. That's not really my thing, but it'll look nice here. We'll give this a shot. See how that looks. Okay, a little bit wide. How wide off are we here, actually? Oh, just a little bit. Okay. See, that's going to disrupt those curves, though, so I probably can't use those mid-textures here. Might have to go up to bars I used earlier, which isn't a problem. It'll work here, too. Okay. Probably go with these shorter ones. Alright, select that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Give that a little bit of a border at the top. Looks good. Okay. Here might be another good place for a weapon. Whoops. There we go. It's funny, I'm so not used to this keyboard yet that I am mispressing things, but whatever. That'll come after a couple days use. Alright, so that's a good place for a weapon. Well, that's a good place for a weapon. Jumping from here to power up. And here a power up. Here a popular gun like a plasma or a rail. Spawn point of some kind. Teleporter from there to here, but facing this way to pressure this. Yeah, we are well on our way. Okay. I'm just going to put down a couple of those aforementioned power-ups there, just so I, you know what I'm doing here, roughly. Here, we're going to go with green armor. Here, we're going to go with supercharge. Okay. Still gotta do something for this last little wall here, but otherwise, most of our detail and most of our geometry is complete. In fact, I might actually try to just make a little divot here, because maybe not a spawn point, but it could definitely be a useful area, this little part. Yeah, well, they really do mean silent when they say silent key or silent touch. Logitech. Would I recommend this keyboard? Most likely. It is so quiet I can't even believe it. The other one sounded like I was jackhammering away over here, and this one is like. But the nice thing is, you would think of a silent keyboard, it would feel soft or like mushy in comparison. No. Like, the keys are nicely raised. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty dang good. Just adding some strip lights here. There we go. And I'm going to insert those into the roof. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to save. and drop a player start. Okay. Now I'm just going to make sure that when I load Zandronum that the actual window comes up correctly, so bear with me here. I haven't had much difficulty with that. I just want to make sure that it's you know, visible as it should be. Whoops. What? Why is it mentioning scripts? That's weird. Did I somehow open the script dialogue creation thing when I was doing this? I doubt it. Nothing there, at least. Nothing there either. I know you can't see this window right now, which is also annoying on my part, but for some reason the script editor is telling me that I can't start my map when I've made no scripts in this map. Oh, now it's working. Okay, yeah, now you want to work. Okay, no problem, no problem. And there's the Zandronum screen, so that's good. Okay. So let's just run around here and get a feel. Haven't put the teleporter in yet, so that won't work quite yet, but flow is pretty good. Yeah, I like this actually. Yeah, because this area here is going to be a massive point of contention right here. That all looks good. That actually looks better than I thought it was going to look. Might have to tweak that a little bit still, but it looks good. That looks decent. Yeah, this spine that's just like inching along, that's pretty cool. Okay. And it doesn't look like my head's hitting anything, which is nice. Yeah, this is going to play well. It's really like a hellish base type deal. Because we've got base architecture, but we're going with hell textures. So, could be interesting. Could certainly be a good time. Okay, so I'll exit out of here. Should be back to the main screen now. Yep. Alright. Now let me just think here on what else I need to do. Could use something here. This wall here I'm not worried about, because we've got this going on here. Whoa. Did I just scroll that down somehow? Must have. What? How did that happen? All kinds of weird shit is happening to me today. Okay, let's get rid of this slope, I guess, and try again. Slope this again. What? Did I mess this up somehow? I'm trying to see how far back this goes. And I just lost UDB. Wow. It just crashed on me. Wow. Okay, well, let's try it again. So, but I didn't lose too much progress. That's ridiculous. I've never had UDB just crash like that. Okay, it says I'm 5 minutes back here. We'll see how much I lost. Looks like your previous editing session has gone terribly wrong. Would you like to restore the map from the backup? I guess so. Okay. So what did I lose here? I've never had that happen in the entire history of me mapping. Oh, and there's my slope. There's my missing slope that was mysteriously gone. Wow. It doesn't seem like I've lost much, though. Huh. I might even clip that and show that on to someone later, because I've never seen that. Like, my slope just checked out. It was like, oh, I'm not a slope anymore, you know? I'm done being a slope. Had enough of it. And then a crash to desktop. Never seen that before. In all my days. But we should be up and running correctly again here. Looks like it. No pain in the ass. Let's try Zandronum again, make sure nothing goes to hell again here. Oh, no player 1 star. That's what I was missing. Okay. No problem. Weird day. Very weird day. Okay. So that should be visible. Yep. Okay, hopefully we run into no more damn problems today. It's looking pretty good though. But I don't know what could have happened there. Like, it's not a weird slope. Like, it fits all the normal parameters for a slope. I don't know what would cause an error. That's the thing. Like, I can see if I was doing some weird shit, but like, sloping from this plane to where that wall was, like, that should be nothing. But hey, at least we now know that UDB's backup system works flawlessly. Like, we can't complain about that too much, can we? I've never got that message where it says, hey, something went terribly wrong. Because that doesn't inspire much confidence, does it? Okay. So we're going to save again. Hopefully get the gremlins out of this thing. And we'll give it another shot here for teleporter. Okay, so that teleporter should be set. Set this to 500 for a tag. There we go. And set this to 502. The sector tag. There we go. And on this side now, we're going to take these and target 502. Okay, let's try that. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. And over here, there we go. Okay, so I guess I'll drop the teleporter destinations now. I'll do one final run through to make sure, oh hey, this is working out, you know? And then after that, I'm going to drop my lighting real quick and we'll get into texturing, like proper texturing at least. That we know roughly what we want at least. Save. I wonder if it had something to do with that weird, like, inert script box I had that popped up. Cause I've written scripts before, nothing complicated. I don't know much about it, but I've done like ladders and stuff with ACS, and that's how I made them, was through that script editor. But there wasn't even anything written there, and it was just, I think it had something to do with how it crashed. Oh, look at that teleport. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this. No momentum loss. Like a race car. Damn race car. Coming from the same way, you got the same thing going on. You just pump right out of here. Not a single moment's hesitation. Which, don't get me wrong, like, even though I'm doing UDMF, I will still drop, what do you call it? An Action 70 teleporter every now and then. But I find when you're doing Deathmatch, like, who wants to be stuck for a second? Who wants to hesitate for a second? You're dead in a second in Deathmatch. So I find if no stop, you at least get things going, you know? Keep things consistently moving instead of stopping for any kind of reason, you know? Like, obviously Action 70 works in some situations. Like, let's say I came out of here, right? And there was a pathway here, here, and here. There's only 2 of those right now, right? But if I had wanted to make a decision on which one of those 3 I wanted, well, I'm not going to want no stop because I'm going to come flying out like a bat out of hell and miss whatever entry, right? So an Action 70 can be useful here. Like, come out here, right? Oh, I want to go this way. Oh, I want to go that way. I want to go this way, you know? But when you got power up here, I want to force movement here. Which makes sense, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it facing that way with no hesitation. So people are pumping towards that power up at all times. But no, this is working out well. This is good. Okay. Let's get my damn lighting done, which shouldn't take me very long at all. Oh, I remember now what I was missing. Yeah, this Romania light strips. That's what it was. I was like, what am I missing here? So I knew I had to miss something after getting dumped to the desktop like that. This looks blank. I'm going to make it slightly darker than the other areas because if I put a light over top of this slope, it's going to truncate. And I don't want that. That's going to look hideous. In this case, sometimes I do cut things out of slopes to put like power up platforms, what have you, right? But I just don't know if it's going to work here. So I'm going to go down to 144 for my default shadow brightness. Because we are dealing with a hellish type situation here. Which makes sense. These I'll raise at 256, even though I am technically... Wait, what? How does that make any... Oh no, it is here. Okay, I'm just tripping, I thought this was gone after my error, but no. This is a different area. What a fool. Okay. Yeah, everything else looks okay. Drop this to 144. Brighten this to 256. Drop this. And this. That works. That works. that up. Which will go nicely. These are already turned up here. X out of that. Now when I'm doing a lot of lighting at once, I'll move a piece of a texture back and forth so that it creates, you know, change texture offsets here. Because if I go ahead and press Control Z, like say I don't like a certain brightness thing I did, and I'm like, oh, I'll go back one step. Well, that kind of screws you over because it takes every single brightness change you've done in between that time and reverts it. So this whole area will be reverted. Which is a pain. Total pain. Yeah, usually Control Z saves you, but not in that situation. Okay. These will all be 256. $144. Crank that up. Crank that up. Twitch a texture so I don't have to deal with that annoyance. Save it. Okay. Crank all of these to max for maximal contrast. What about these? These are right? Yeah, these are alright. These need to go up. All this needs to go down. There we go. This I might even go one further than 144 for a little more contrast, because it is technically under an additional object. 144 for here, because I don't want anything on. Well, like it's UDMS, so I can just crank that down if there was light on the roof, but I just don't want to deal with it today. Okay. Crank that up. Is this max? Yep. Okay. It might already be done most of my texturing. Not my texturing, pardon me, my lighting. Of course, I'll go in and add some more lighting effects, right? But for the most part, this is kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. So now comes the main bulk of the texturing. Which I've been at this for 2 hours now, so I'm actually making good time. I've got all the lighting and texturing, all the lighting and everything else done already, so. Now comes the part where I come in and border everything. And what I'll typically use for border texture is Seal5_2. Just because I find the metal's fine and all, like the texture just called metal. I guess that's cool and all. But I don't like those rivets that you have to then adjust each time. It's a pain in the ass. So when I go with this one, I don't have to worry about those rivets. Yeah, I just look at that metal look, you know? There we go. Probably get rid of that, get rid of that, and that. Good. So this part doesn't take me too long. I do it for a very good reason. What is this MIDI? Okay, there we go. It sounded like someone scrubbing a floor or something. Which for that reason I will not name what it is. I don't want to insult or upset anybody. It's probably my sound font. Okay, so far so good. Right there. And right there. Does that look jank? I don't think so. No, that looks alright. Put that here, 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 because, you know, it's lava. We might as well have metal around lava. Because that gives me an excuse to place whatever the hell else I want above or beside it. Even wood if I wanted to. Like, why not? I got metal border now. Probably won't pick wood, but I'm just giving that as an example. I find there's not much wood to work with I really like in Vanilla Doom. Okay. Fix the fake contrast on that and on this. There we go. But yeah, I am so glad I didn't lose freaking everything when that happened. That would have been a real annoyance. Well, probably would have been a completely failed stream too, because it's not going to sit down and repeat every single thing vertice for vertice I just did, right? Like at that point, I'd probably just stop and try again later. But thankfully, that did not happen. Could have, did not. Yeah, like I said previously, I've never had that happen in my entire mapping career. I didn't even know UDB had that weird, something went terribly wrong, you know, error. I'll have to poke around and see if I can find out anything from anybody later about why that might have happened. Okay, drop a smaller vertice here and here because those are too chunky for borders, what I had there previously. And same with this region here. There we go. Probably can get away with doing it here too. There we go. Nice little framing. Skip that and do this. Same with that. Probably can get away with it here. And here. Okay. So the reason I do this framing technique, this bordering the way I do, because I can just jump in now and flood fill everything after I finish this, which will make my life much easier. Okay. See, if that's uneven, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to drop a border here. Solves the problem. Okay. Split this one too, it's a bit thick. There we go. Put that here, put that here, and then split this one, same way I did the other one. There we go, okay. Frame that, frame that. And probably these, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you? And do all three of these. Nice. Okay, we're actually moving along now. Things aren't looking too messy. Which if they are, I'll fix them, of course. This isn't really a speed map. I tend to get them done in speed mapping, you know, time frames. Like, you could say 3.5 hours is a speed map. Most people, I find, tend to recognize a speed map as anything under 3 hours, but 3.5 is close enough. And it typically takes me 3.5 hours to finish one of these from beginning to end, so. There we go for there. Frame these up. Feels so quiet about that damn keyboard just chattering away every 2 seconds. I think it's for the better though. I can actually hear myself think. I didn't realize how loud it was until I started streaming, you know? This is a keyboard you would use in a damn library. If that makes sense. Sure seems like it. If I had a library and I was in charge of a library, I'd pick this keyboard. I can't hear shit. Okay. Oops. There we go. We're getting there. Then I just gotta drop fill in the rest, flood fill, which I already know I'm doing. I'm doing hell, so hell textures, you know, obviously. And then the rest is just flood fill type stuff. Which I'm beginning to wonder now, looking at this, is if you take a glance here, you can see these 3 lights, right? Yet that equivalence is absent on the other side. So it might be prudent for me to go in and replicate those 3 lights right here on this side. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I could just copy and paste them. Oh, probably could just copy and paste them. Let's see. The reason I was skeptical is because if they're on grid, I don't want things to look wrong, you know? See what I mean? That's one down. Is that right? It looks right. Okay, good. Good, good, good. So what else do I have to border here? Probably this. Okay. Oh no, wait, that was the wrong one. Right here. It's hard to tell with concentric curves sometimes where you're supposed to be clicking at first. There we go. Here. And here. I'm going to try to frame this in, this region. Okay. Why am I doing that? There's not really a need to frame that. Okay. Just about done here. Frame this on both sides. And like I said, it's flood fill time. Because we've already got all of our lighting done. Am I missing anything here? Oh, here we go. There we go. Pinch this corner. Perfect. And this one. Save, so I don't ever have to do this over again, because that would be very annoying. Okay. From there to there, and whoops, that's huge. Why is that so huge? Oh, I see. Okay, makes sense. There we go. Crank this to 144, and all these to 256. All this, yep. I can probably stay 160, because kind of in between the 192 and the 144 that way. This, a little darker even. Okay. Now I wanted to, you know, just drop this texture right here, but then that kind of forces me to have to use some kind of metal texture on the floor. And if I'm stuck using the metal texture on the floor, well, then I'm kind of stuck using artificial looking textures in a hell environment. That just might not look right. So. What else am I missing here? I suppose I could do this. Yep. I like this MIDI. It kind of sounds like something you hear in Pokemon. Like the very end of the game, you know, the credit rolling screen. It's kind of chill. Actually, I'm really digging this. What is this even? Let me see. Okay, it's called It's a Habit by... Oh, by Corp. Interesting. Interesting. Haven't heard much of their stuff. Okay. So I think this is all framed. It's time to start flood filling and getting some shit done here. I'm feeling some, you know, cobblestone-y type stuff. A little bit of wood here and there, but not too much places because I've got to worry about it conflicting with the lava, of course. So like here, it would not be very logical. Yeah, and I would have to truncate the slope to make it work here. Okay. Forget it there. How about here? No, because then that borders the entirety of the lava. Huh. What about here? That works. And up here probably works too, yeah. Nice. So now for the side here, like I said, QDMF, you can drop things wherever the hell you want. I'm probably going to just see what I can get away with wood on the edges of these checkerboard areas. That looks good. Tricky. Does that look alright? Kind of. Not really looking for kind of, though. I'm looking for something that works. So I might have to change some stuff around still. As much Doom mapping as I've done, I've not done much with just vanilla, so it's going to be a little tricky for me. Looks pretty decent though. And then I'm going to use some kind of metal to cap the top. Which, whatever. I mean, I'm trying to kind of go on a little bit tech-basy now instead of just worrying about looking identical to a hellish area. So I need something metal going on. What do we have for metal? Could go with brick. Let's try brick. I mean, we could roll with it for now. Yeah, let's go with it for now. Because that at least makes sense with this end cap with the color, so... And I'll probably just get rid of that, because that middle area will look better by itself. I kind of like this, just for like a hellish light, you know? Makes sense to me, actually. Take that, put that there. Or does that look better? That looks better. Yeah, okay. Now here, I'm gonna need something relatively neutral. Or we just go a little bit bonkers. Yeah, that's good. That'll work. Metal, metal, metal. Down here, I need something different, though. The contrast. Is this too much? Kind of looks good. If the rest of the stuff filled in, it'll look decent. Right now, it probably looks a little off, but whatever. We will see what we end up with here. Could go with just the pink. That would at least match the red nicely. Oops. Okay. Let's try this out. This is one of those textures that you can accidentally misalign and people won't always notice. At least horizontally misalign. If you vertically misalign, of course everyone's gonna notice, right? But the just a little bit of, it gives you a little bit of leeway. Okay. And for here, we might as well copy that there because that will actually look good. Let's take this and put it here so that we're actually dealing with a different colored platform at least. There we go. This whole area here, this little, I don't know what you call that, wall, will end up looking different than the part above it. What do we hear? That's a bit greasy looking. There we go, that's better. Put these over here and up here. That red is going to look nice. It might look a little silly just by itself right now, but it will end up looking nice. I don't know if this red on the lava is too much. I actually don't know. Some people might be yelling at the screen right now going, oh, it doesn't contrast right, change it. You know, that's fair. But it kind of makes sense to me right now. Take this, do that, and here as well, and probably here. Oops. See that? You think one of, you know, metal with rivets or whatever would work better there, but probably not because of these flared corners. You're gonna see a portion of another rivet like right above it, so probably better off just doing this. Or that's better, yeah. That looks good. Which means I can apply it here, no problem. And in turn, it has to go here, obviously. Probably take this and put this here. Which in turn works there. Good, good. Put that here, put that here. Probably there and there. Whoops, not quite there. There we go. Okay, we've got ourselves a theme at least. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna knock those borders out because I'm bordering such a small portion of whatever that is. And that probably just makes more sense. This. Okay. Definitely getting somewhere here. This will be fire of some type. That will look nice. I think this is the one that... No, this is the one that animates by default. There we go. That will look great. Where else can I put it? Probably back here. Raise that up a little bit. Whoops. Whoops, come on. Okay. Which in turn means this will work. And I can probably steal this and put it here. Which also means I can probably do this if need be. No? Ugly? Ugly. Yeah, ugly. Gotta know when things don't work. There we go, that's better. And I'll take this and repeat it here, because we haven't used it there yet, or anywhere in that area. Now these split in half at the bottom. You get away with these. Yep. Here, here, here's that border. That looks horrific. Okay. I put some wood down this hallway. Makes sense at least. Well, what do I want? Oh, wood 12 will work. Okay. This here, here. Probably throw this in the back of here again, which gives me an excuse to add brightness here. Very nice. That can go here. Kind of needs some kind of, not metal, but something that is the same color as that brown texture, which this will work. Like I said, this is like a hellish base necessarily. It's not just hell. There we go. And we'll take this border and apply it here. Oh no, wait, we'll take that. The edge of the wood. Whoops. Come on. There we go. Up here, we'll apply this as border. Makes sense. Use the same brick for the border, of course. And what are we going to drop for that? Oh, that'll probably work. That'll look nice. Look at this. That's hellish. Hell, hell, hell. Okay. Oops, use that. Whoops, come on. Use that here, and that there. And there. Pink framing will work in these locations as entrance points. Probably can get away with axing those borders and throwing this up here. Okay. Now this brick texture is a little problematic. It fits the right height here. Actually, it could work. Okay, there we go. Very nice. Which means in turn that it should probably be switched here, or vertical, or possibly vertical. Which means I'll have to 90 degree it here. There we go. And here also. Okay, we are coming along here. Instead of that, I'll just take this, because that will match the brown at least. Frame the rest of the stuff reasonably well. Yep. Okay. Here, I might just want to go with metal. Yep, that looks good. Good, good, good. Okay. What happened here? Oh, I raised that by accident, okay. Put this here, and here, and here, and here. There we go. I gotta find something for this pillar. It looks very boring by itself right now. Something I want to say red, but then it might contrast the other red stuff. So perhaps not. This, there's no reason not to do that. Same here. Okay, frame this whole thing with that. Actually looks good. Take this and move here. I feel if I deviate too much from this brick now, that I'm gonna look odd, you know? Yeah, this feels gonna look weird if I just all of a sudden go to something else completely. Let's try wood. Let's try some more wood, I guess. Okay, move this over here. There we go. Swap this. Come on, turn. Ah. 0, 90. There we go. Does that look terrible? A little bit. Okay. Probably this would texture work better. And swap that 0. Whoops. 0. There we go. And because I'm doing that, I might as well... Is there a seam in the middle of these anywhere? I don't think so. Might do that. Might do that. Yep. Okay, this is actually working out. It was a little rocky at first here, but it's working out. Damn bricks here now. If there's some kind of alternative I can use that will tile correctly, I'll do it. Was tile any better? Nope. I'm kind of liking this MIDI. It's pretty laid back. Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, that works. Okay. That works. Well, I don't want to be too reliant on that because it's while it's not an ugly texture, it's not the best to repeat over and over. I'll give this one a shot. Yep, that works. And I'm kind of just feeling like dropping this down the whole hallway. Keep the brick roof. It's not too ugly because I don't know. I'll have to feel this one out a little bit more, I guess. Throw that there. Throw that here to match. Add some extra excitement. The fire texture is always great. I mean the cinder texture, that is. Put the fire texture here. Because that will look wonderful there. There we go. Plus it explains why that area is lit. Before it was just, didn't make much sense. Now I want to color these pillars, but I don't want to just monotone them necessarily. Could go with red wall. Could go with mod wall. Oh, I could just go with tech too. Let's see. That looks cool. We'll go with that for now. If something changes, something changes, you know? Take this. Here and here. Here and here. Because this is all flesh, that makes sense for this. Okay. This goes up here, obviously. Okay, that makes sense to me. But does this whole area make sense? No. Okay. Take this, put this here. Yeah, I kind of just go around willy-nilly almost. Like I don't like, oh, I'll do this area, then this area, then this area. Like I kind of just go around until everything is gone. Something like that could work. Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. Oh no. Huh. Is that tiled? It looks like it. That's actually even. Wow. We're surprised. Kind of cool. I cut it a bit more though here. No, I don't like that. I need something that matches up here. What about just the skin one? Kinda. Okay. Yeah, that could actually work. Now that I'm seeing more of it, it actually looks nice. I'm gonna take this and right there. Wait, what? Right there. There we go. This. Now, is there any others level there? Okay. So I can't place the floor texture. That's the checkered wood. That wouldn't make much sense now, would it? Haha, what a joke. What a punster I am. Very funny. Not actually. So what I need is some kind of brown texture, but I've used a lot of this already. Maybe this? Like just to split up to the next area. Could work. And then where's my metal at? Right here. Take this and spin it so we get a little more definition there. Same as probably here. And here. Probably around this border too, that'll look nice. Or even that'll look nice. There we go. Now frame it here because we don't want to have to deal with that brown texture the entirety of the way, you know? looking a little bit terrible, so. That'll work. Here we probably want our cinder wall. So it'll go ahead and match the inverse cinder wall I have on the other side here. There we go. And I guess we'll go with this cobble brick. It kind of looks nice. I just gotta figure out what to do for here and here and this hallway mainly. Could just go a little bit crazy and drop some more brick, or maybe a different type of brick. Different type of, let's see, this will work. That looks nice actually. Put on the roof too. Okay. Alright. Which means I can probably stuff it on there too. Looks nice. And fix the height of these two wood textures. There we go. So what do we have left here? Okay. That actually looks good because the pink kind of pairs with red while being too obnoxious. And I'll probably take this and put this here because at least it matches the roof. I'll drop that there. Wow, am I done the main texturing? Wow, okay. Oh, right here. I missed something. And put that there. It's kind of cool, actually. It'll look better when I drop the real sky in and we don't stick with this ugly brown sky. Because that's not going to go very hellish, obviously, of course. So. Let me see if this works. Is there anything major that I'm missing, you know? No, it looks good. Oh, right here. See, this red hell texture is actually really useful for lighting. You wouldn't think so just looking at it initially. No, this looks cool. It's like a D2 hell base instead of the hell base I made last time with Fox Tex. Yeah, I'm gonna save this, give it a run around. We'll drop our items and check if there's any more effects we need to add, and we should be good. Okay. Looks like that loaded correctly. I know I always have to check that. It's just that I've had so much trouble with OBS not grabbing Xandro that it's been kind of annoying. There we go. in terms of what song I'm going to put on this, I have no clue. I have to come up with something though. Maybe something from Immorpher. I really like his hell stuff. See, that you can't get up here. Okay, moving pretty well. Okay. So do a little bit more, just make sure I don't see anything. And then dropping items, and I am, despite the couple little technical issues I had today, I'm actually right on schedule still, so. Very nice, very nice. Oh yeah, that's fine. I just hit that wrong. What I like about this though is if I'm just like zipping down this hallway, I'm gonna hit this so fast. Like, look at that. It's crazy. Nothing to impede you, nothing to get in your way at all. Is that working? Yep. Okay. Let's get these damn items down. I know mostly what I want anyway here. So we got the super, got the green armor here. Teleporters are already working, so that's good. Probably put a rocket launcher here. This is what I'm feeling. Of course, I want to snap the grid. There we go. Rockets look good there. Here, I might just put a super shotgun. Ah, maybe not, because why the hell would you go back there, right? Probably gonna want to put. I know it's a shotgun. That's actually gonna be a railgun. Plasma here. Each of these areas, I'm going to drop a little stim pack. And here, cell charges. Over here will be a super shoddy because that just makes sense for a spawn. That works. Okay. Kind of feeling their plasma gun. Why not? Like, really, why wouldn't I? And that supercharge looks close, of course, but as we know, it's up on a ledge, so I could put a spawn there if I wanted to. Put a super shoddy spawn here, because normally I wouldn't put one that close to a teleporter exit, but as we know, that's a no-stop and people are zipping out of there, so not really worried about people interfering with this guy. Backpacks there. Ooh, the super shoddy over here. So what kind of potential spawns are we dealing with here? What are we dealing with here? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might be best to swap that railgun here as a spawn. Move Mr. Rocket over here. People are still going to look for a rocket launcher. They're not going to, you know, it's not that out of the way, but they're not going to touch it, I don't think. Like I said, I know it says shotgun, but when I drop my resource wad in, it will be a railgun. Now I'm just going to drop some miscellaneous ammo. And we'll go over the medkit here. Probably one here. You don't want too many too close to be a super. Which is why a medkit could work here as well. I got this huge hallway here. I just dropped the occasional rocket to kind of influence that path a little bit. There we go. And here, we'll put a cell charge pack because that will drive further incentive to get up to that tunnel. Here we'll put a chain gun because we don't have one. And while I'm not the biggest chain gun fan, it will at least give people the option. Which is what Deathmatch is all about. Options. And box of rocket there, sure, why not? And we'll go with a stim pack at the end of each of this light here. Okay. What else do I need? Some rockets, loose rockets here and here will look nice and work nice. And yeah, why not? Let's put a medkit there. Here we're going to go with another box of shells. And here we're going to go with a box of ammo. And in between both of these sets of lights, we'll drop some cell charges. And here, because we're leading out to a supercharge, and because, I don't know, it might be fun, I'm going to put some leading health bonuses. There we go. I guess we could do it over here too. Why the hell not? There we go. Now let me just take a look here at what I'm dealing with. Probably drop another, what do you call it? Box of ammo here. Not box of ammo, pardon me. Well, I guess it is a box of ammo, right? But no, box of shells. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Just for a slap of extra detail, we're going to drop armor bonuses in the center of these. Just so that they catch your eye a little bit. They're of course useless, like 6 armor is not going to do anybody good, right? But they will look nice. And that's part of it when it comes to placing these little goofy items, like the armor bonuses and the health bonuses. Okay. Give that a quick save. And now it's spawn time, which I already know where all my spawns are going, so it shouldn't take too long at all. I'm going to actually move this to here. Put that to here. A little less terrible now. Because I feel like that's too out in the open if you're like right here. I know that doesn't look too much better, but that's really in the open. It's almost like dropping someone in the middle of the map. So this is me a railgun. So we'll probably have you come out like this. Have this guy come out right, so he's not immediately influenced by the railgun player. Have this guy come south. And this guy south as well. Or let's see. Depends on where I'm facing him. Might be better to face this guy left. Yeah. Because this guy's going left also. So what are we dealing with here? Let's count our spawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should be perfect for a map of this size. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close this map out of UDB, hop in the slave, which I had conveniently open already, drop the map data in, and then make sure that railgun spawns incorrectly, drop a sky, and we are like done. We're done. Okay. So I'll be, well, I'm still here obviously, but you'll see Slade pop up in the screen in a second here. There we go. So within Slade here, you can see this is my resource wall. I got my sounds. I got, well, just a placeholder music track. We'll get rid of that for now. And a placeholder map. Get rid of that also. And here we're going to open up our 6th map, which is Doom2 Vanilla. Did I close that already? Yes, good. Okay. So from here, I'm going to copy this map, put it right here in my resource wad, exit that out. We're going to import a sky and a song real quick, which conveniently I know where all that nonsense is, so you can't see this screen because I strategically set it up so my file system isn't completely shown in the open, you know? What do I want here? What do I want? Immorpha, probably. Or do I want that right now? I don't know. It's always tricky at first to find something that will fit. Let's try this one out. Vibraphonic by Evil Scientist. I haven't actually heard this, but the name sounds cool, so we'll give it a shot. I'm going to save this as the new map again. Sixth map, and with resources. There we go. Now all I gotta do is add that sky I mentioned. Which you'll be able to see the sky once I pop it up here. It's gonna be a pretty cool hell sky. I'm not sure if I want to pair some kind of pink going on, or if I want to go just straight red or orange. I'll have to see what Mechadon has available here. That'll work. I like that. See, that's what I'm looking at. I think that'll be a nice in-between. So I'm going to rename that to S1. Because that's how my map info grabs that. We don't have to worry about converting it, of course, because this is UDMF. Now, what to call this map? I kind of like this name. It's a little bit goofy. Deep Heck. There we go. That sounds great. And we're going to crank the sky movement up to 0.3. Save it. There's my railgun. Good. So that should be all we need. Now I'm going to open this up again in UDB. We'll take a final look, and we should be set to go ahead and move on to the next stream later. Okay. There we go. There's what I'm looking for right here. And I just gotta load it with Doom 2, of course. There we go. Switch over to Doom 2 unit math. There we go. That should work. Let's hope. It's gonna give me an error, of course. About the railgun. Yeah, no problem. Okay. So here is our map. In all of its glory. So, you know what? I'm going to turn it on its side. I don't know if I like it in this orientation, to be honest. Oh, is this the remake of the PSX theme? That's great. That's a great song to end this out on. Okay. There we go. Everything's lined up. Yep. Still working. Yep. Okay. I think that looks a little bit better. Alright, so we are 3 hours in. Let me just pop into this real quick. See what that sky looks like. Oh yeah, that looks sweet. Look at that. Actually looks decent. Wow. I always find a map looks weird or barren without the items, and the moment you add the items in, you're like, oh, okay, I got, you know, that looks decent. There's all these little extra colors, a little bit of blue. Oh, there's the red guy, see? Now, of course, item balancing might change at some point down the road when I do assemble this whole thing into a megawatt, which I plan on doing. Balance might be updated, of course, but this actually seems to be working pretty good in terms of what we're wanting here, so. Everything seems to be working. Yep. This supercharge area is going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. Plus, this armor is going to help balance it a little bit. I'm not going to bother switching to the other song right now because I'm sure it's good and I like this song right now, so. Okay. Looks like we're almost good to go here. Okay, so I think that is going to do it for today. I'm actually half an hour early than I normally am. It only took me exactly 3 hours to completely finish this. So that's pretty decent. I'm going pretty quick here. Next stream is Friday at 2 p.m. MDT. That's going to be MDT. So we're going at the same thing again, another random map. But the day after that, on Saturday, I'm going to try to go for my first 6-hour stream. We'll see how that goes. But so far, 6 out of 6 streams, I've been able to successfully make a map off the top of my head in that time period. So I think my little gimmick here is working so far. So that's great. But yeah, so that is it for now. I will see you all later, and yeah, until next time.